How is it going, everybody? Scott the MassNERDerer here with Nerd Talk. Be advised, it's been 2 weeks since we've been on, so I'm hoping I can remember the intro here. But you know our regular host here, MrTimeItself, Culprit008, and MrTehPuppy, or TehPuppy. Today we are going to be we have 3 topics for you. One I sort of just added in there so you guys didn't know about. I don't know if they've looked at the screen yet. First, we're going to be talking about gaming eras. Some games used to be focused in Modern Warfare 2. They used to be focused like World War II. So back in the past, then we had some modern games, and then some future games coming out. And we're just sort of going to discuss: are there trends here? Are they good, bad? Do we set the trends? What's setting the trend? Things like that, and just reminisce at some of the other games we've really loved and where they've been set. Also talk about sort of how that affects the game itself. Next, we're going to be talking about games we have our eyes on. This is around the time in the new fall. New games are starting to come out. They're all getting ready to be sold over Christmas break. So I'm going to talk about what we have in mind, and hopefully hear from you guys what you have in mind, or take suggestions from you, and we can comment on other games like that. And then, special treat here, I guess Puppy has done some Defibs Only stuff, so we're going to talk about that, hear his story, and see what you can check out in that sense. And then you can always interact with us in the live stream. If you're watching that here in the live stream with us, we'll have questions for you throughout the whole thing. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can still leave comments. Trust me, all of us get in there and read in the comments. We can get topics for next time, reply that way. And you can always tune in to watch our live streams. Typically, they're at 10 p.m. Eastern, Friday nights. The link to the Twitch channel is in the description. All right. Now we can get going.
Good job. Good job.
Intro was good. All right. So we took last week off, so we apologize for that. We had a lot going on, so it was just sort of a good time. I wanted to set you guys a reminder. If you are in the chat and you want to try to get our attention and you're not just talking to each other, type the @ symbol, @nerd, @nerd talk, @culprit, @puppy, @time, whatever.
Yeah,
just something the @ symbol stands out a little bit more, and we can read, oh, it's to us, and we know what's going on. Okay. Now on that, how's everyone doing? Oh, what's Culprit got there? Little mason jar.
A little relaxation, yeah.
He loves drinking out of mason jars. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I had a pint glass. It just didn't seem like a pint glass night, so.
I bust out the mason jar.
No, my wife's been sick, so I haven't done any dishes. It was the real story.
So my wife's sick, the dishes don't get done.
I had my youngest son's christening on Sunday, and these were used for centerpieces for the tables.
Nice.
They were there.
You just had to drink. What do I do? Oh, here.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like, oh, that'll work.
Right.
She'll love that in the morning.
I'm down for that.
I'm playing DayZ. I'm becoming resourceful.
You're
Self-sufficient, man.
Okay. Okay, so let's move into the topic, shall we? Anyone got any other little introductory? It's been a while, so what's been going on with everyone? Puppy, what you been doing?
Yeah, we haven't talked much. Even our chat's been quiet.
I as you mentioned, the thing this past
I feel like I missed
2
that.
weeks ago. I think was it 2 weeks or was it just a week?
It was quick. You did.
Yeah, I got it done. I got it done in 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
So.
But hey, don't talk about that. That's topic 3.
All right, I'll save it. But no, beyond that, I got school starting up next week for me. But also, huge news, at least in puppy land, is my oldest son is actually starting up kindergarten on Monday. So Daddy's been having
crying,
some tears and.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's rough on me, man. I never thought that I would see the day, and here it is. So yeah,
I feel that. I'm not there yet, but yeah.
Tom, what have you been up to?
I finished a nice little move, and I've just been getting back in the groove of trying to make videos.
Yeah.
My life's fairly easy compared to what you guys are going through.
The pillows and the curtains look good, man.
I'm staying with someone else right now. So.
It's better than my dream catcher I had in the background when I was at MrTehPuppy's place.
Yeah.
You said it, not me. I was going to leave you alone, honestly. It was.
Oh, God. All right. Let's jump into our topic. So what we're talking about here is, game era settings. We can talk about all of it. I mean, if you guys have opinions on, what era you prefer in games, we'd love to hear it. I think we'll start off there, and then we're going to move into little other things about eras. But specifically, just is any era for you guys more fun to play? Who wants to start it off?
I can, because we talk about this in chat. I mean, I'm weird. Look, Puppy's gonna jump on me. I hate futuristic games. I shouldn't say I hate them. They just don't get me. And I'm a sci-fi nerd. Books, movies, all that. But you put a shooter in a futuristic setting, it doesn't do it for me. And like I said, I was into Black Ops 2. I was intrigued. Then the first trailer came out, and it was like flying horses or something. I don't know. It was something crazy going on.
Robots versus horses.
I instantly lost interest, and it's always been a weird thing for me. I never really understood it. Tribes, Halo. If I was playing games, 2142, probably wouldn't have been into that. But give me a World War II, give me a Vietnam, give me a modern setting. I'm all about it. But anything in future, no go.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start.
Are you the opposite, or are you just like...
How can you not like the future? All right, and I understand you're like, all right, so balance issues.
I don't even get it either. I don't understand it either. It's just literally, you can feel the interest in me just go boom.
There's so much you can do with it, though. I mean, it is like massive. I mean,
I think that's the problem.
But that's what I love about it. I mean, that's like the selling point, in my opinion. As far as things like that go. I mean, you look at, as an example, obviously I'm going to toad on it every chance I get. But you look at Battlefield 2142. We had hover tanks. Screw a tank with tracks. We had freaking hover tanks. You want to glide sideways, you go ahead, you get that going on. And it wasn't like it like really destroyed balance issues or anything like that. It was just a hover tank. And I mean, you look at, they had like gigantic AT looking from Star Wars mechs and things like that. And they had the Titans, which were gigantic spaceships in the sky.
I've heard about Titans over and over and over.
But I mean, like, even like, okay, so like their version of the attack chopper was like this like weird cross hybrid between an attack chopper and a jet thing. And I mean, like, just like ideas like that, plus like the ammunition that they use. They're like, oh, well, in the future, we don't use gunpowder anymore. Screw gunpowder. We use, magnetically propelled bullets and stuff like that. And and it's like, all right, that's cool. That's technology that's out there. And I understand that like Black Ops 2 is kind of following the same trail, where a lot of the stuff that they're doing out there, they're like, this is stuff that's coming. Like, we researched this, and this is stuff that's actually going to be coming out.
Yeah, if it was grounded in that, I could probably get into it. Like you said.
So we talk about authenticity versus realism, and we talked about that last time. And I think one of the things you get when you try and get more and more realistic, it limits more and more what kinds of games you can play. I don't care when it is, as long as the gameplay is good. So you got FPS games, don't set it in the Civil War. We've also figured out you don't want to set it during Vietnam, basically, because that just doesn't make a good game. And we've somehow found that this modern warfare thing, we can still kind of have a bit of realism and a lot of authenticity, and it still plays well. But you go back to another time period, in the past, and it's like, what are you talking about? But if you've got a game, maybe an RTS, I'm an Age of Empires fan. So I've hinted at occasionally, and they made the gameplay work for them. But if you push the timeline too far forward, guns get too powerful, and the entire game just falls apart. Yeah. So, I don't know, whatever makes gameplay work, and if you can make it work in an authentic and somewhat realistic setting, like DayZ is really pushing it. I mean, you've got zombies, but everything else, they're going for realism, and it works. Right. So, as far as future settings, whatever you can come up with, whatever you can explain your sci-fi setting, I don't care. Just make the gameplay good.
I think that's it for me. Is like he's saying. I think the problem with future games. Sorry, Scott. I'll give you a second. I promise. It's almost like you hand a developer just too much of a blank slate. Like, I feel like modern times they have a little restraints, and a good developer, which obviously 2142 was good, and so that would intrigue me. I would have played it. If you guys were all going crazy, I would have played it. I'm not saying I won't play the game. My interest level drops. No. But most developers, it's almost like they run around with chickens with their heads cut off because they don't know what to do because they can do anything they want. And so I just feel like it kind of gets lost. But like Tom's saying, if it has a backstory, if it has a reason, or grounded on authenticity, like they're projecting out the assault rifle or whatever it may be, I could probably get into that. I could probably find interest in that eventually. It might just be because I'm stubborn and that's a bigger learning curve. Like, I can go into any Call of Duty game, I can go into any Battlefield game, and I kind of already know the backstory. I know the setup. I know what each thing does, from game to game to game. And M16's an M16. Whereas future game, like if I went into Tribes right now, I'd be lost. It would take me 2 months just to figure out I'm bad. So maybe it's just the old Kaji guy in me. I don't know, but it's been like this forever though. Like, I'm trying to think back to the old school games, but
all right. So you want to bring in old school? Did you ever play Halo, like the original?
No, I really didn't. No, I'm trying to think. Like I had a big gap where I didn't play games for a long time.
Right.
But even like Counter-Strike, like I played Counter-Strike, which is fairly modern. But even Counter-Strike, I went further and if you guys played the Firearms mod, which was like the realistic mod, they had like all the ammo and everything, you know. So I always lean that way. It's always been peculiar. I don't know, and I'm not in real life. I'm not a gunhead. I don't. You know, there's no reason for me to be. It's just how I am.
Yeah. You know, I don't know, I think of this topic, like, I feel like I'm sort of, I don't know, I enjoy the World War II era, not just in video games, but, like, movies. I don't know, I just think I've enjoyed them more, you know. I think, like,
I'm a history
Saving
buff,
Private Ryan, and, like, those are just some of my favorite, when I'm thinking, like, action war movies. They're set in World War II, and I don't know if that's because I really like World War II more, like, or they just made good movies that happen to be about World War II. When I think of games, though, before we came into it, before you guys started talking, I was thinking I like modern and past. My opinion, when I play like Halo, and I've only played a little bit of it, you're jumping around and you're flying through the air, and these weapons are crazy. And for me, it's just like, this is a little too crazy. And I don't think there's many people who could argue that Halo is not a good game. I don't enjoy it, but I think most people believe Halo is one of the best game series out there.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah.
With my stupid. Yeah.
And I'm not. I don't want to argue that because from what I've heard about the skill-based matchmaking, all this stuff, great, but it just feels different to me. And I think so. Futuristic. My favorite would be going back into modern or older, just because it's a little bit more like. I guess I'm just used to it. That could be it. I'm just used to when I start flying through the air and it's too much for me. And with my time, I can't adapt to it, like that. I guess it'd take me a while, and then I'd realize I'm not good at this, and it's a waste of my time.
Exactly. Right.
But
are we speaking strictly FPS? I mean,
I guess
that very much limits like your time frame. You don't want to go so far back that you don't have a gun. So Assassin's Creed kind of does that.
Yeah, and they added guns in the second one, but. If I guess I think in FPS because it's like my main genre. But when we talk other things, Mass Effect is my favorite game of all time. I should have thought of that.
I was just saying, I'll play sorcery games and stuff like that. Yeah.
So once we get out of, but yeah, like Mass Effect is my favorite game. Stories, I like a good game with any game I play other than like online multiplayer, which is sort of what I was focusing on. I like a story, but I don't know. In other games, I'm more open.
It's not just futuristic for me either, though. Like, you're talking about flying around, all that. For me, like, Team Fortress has never really appealed to me, because the same thing. It's just, and everybody swears by that game, and I respect the game, having never played a minute, but I have no drive to play it. Yeah. It's just, and it's not just the graphics or anything. That doesn't bother me. It's just too out there for me, and I don't know. Maybe I'm too vanilla, but. Because like I said, I can respect the game, and I respect Valve a crap load, but I just, if suddenly I lost my job, my wife left me, and I had tons of time, I'd check it out. But in my very limited time, I'm not going to carve out a niche to play that, so that's how I rank things these days.
I think it's a good example, where it's not actually set futuristic, but it plays futuristic, like these added abilities and stuff. So
the concept is authenticity. It's I pick up an M16, I know what it does. I know what the role it fits, and
the
I'm
chat
just lazy maybe.
So far, it seems I've only got a few responses, people actually picking here, but it seems about 50-50. I think I had 2 people say World War II, and then 2 people might have said futuristic.
Yeah, put it in caps. What's your favorite era? Past, present, future.
I'm not gonna lie though. Like, to me, games set in the past. Now it depends on the past, like which exact version. The past we're talking about here, but like say World War I games, World War II, or anything before that, those games bore the hell out of me.
See, I would play Cowboys and Indians if they did
it. Well, okay, now, I guess you're right there. I can't go too far into that because Red Dead Redemption is epic. But, with the exception of Red Dead Redemption, because they did it really, really well, like any World War I, any World War II game, any game prior to that, I have a hard time with it because every time I join the game, it's like I understand the tactics that are supposed to be used and the tactics that, were employed in these eras and the guns that they had, but I can't help but think while I'm playing, yeah, but if only I had an M60 and I was in,
Puppy's OP. You want to be OP is what you're saying.
Yes!
Like Tom said, you can't do Civil War where they're just standing in lines and just fight. I mean, who's going to do that?
Yeah.
But there's
a certain element of that, yeah.
There is a Revolutionary War game I think I saw that was very much like that, where it's line up and line up and...
Yeah, I remember reading about that. And
no, that's Grand Bazaar Rush, the third station. Everybody just kind of... You're thinking of Grand Bazaar, man.
So, true. What I wanted to take this genre from, and I guess I wish I would have thought it through. I was only thinking first-person shooter, but I think just save time. I think when we open up to other genres, most of us are a lot more open because things, when you're playing like a real-time strategy, no matter what it's set in, it's futuristic because you're freaking hovering over, controlling people and moving wherever. I think it opens up there. What I wanted to bring this to, though, and actually the improviser, I can't pronounce anything, you should know that by now, is he brought it up, and I was going to bring it up too, is what about balancing? He thinks future games are easier to balance because you can do whatever you want. My thought before this, like you just said, Culprit, was it's easier to balance older games.
I was going to answer his comment.
Yeah, because in older... Oh, bye, MassNERDerer. In older games, it was...
Did I say something?
Yeah, it's just... She said Puppy looks weird.
She likes future games too much.
We put her to sleep. My thought was, back in World War II, you didn't have crazy guns. Like, guns were pretty much naturally balanced, It was pretty simple. Like, you had 2 or 3 automatic fire weapons, and then single fire. And it was... I feel like they're easier to balance, because in future... you get too much freedom to be crazy, and you have this gun that shoots a super laser beam through 5 people. So your opinions on the balancing aspect.
Right.
And then Puppy, if you want to bring in 21 whatever and how they did it. You can
Let's just add a segment. Let's just add a segment on there. Puppy 2142 Love Fest. We can all tune out, and he can just sit here and talk. I kind of missed that game. I would think about going back and checking it out, actually. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
I honestly, as much as I love the game, I would not advise that you do that.
I'm not going to. What I'm saying, like everybody wanted Bad Company 3 or 2143. I would have been okay if they did that. So, for the record.
Balancing. What do you guys think?
The thing about the modern games is that you have weapons that are one-hit kills, shotguns, sniper rifles, and that's in basically all of them. You get into the futuristic game setting, and you can get away from it. Like, part of what they do to keep the pace up is to make it really easy to kill people. But, super easy, but, sniper rifle, you aim the shot, you hit the guy, or shotgun, you get close enough, he's dead. But in future games, you can get more armor, you can play with the fire rates of weapons a lot more, and you can make it a little more interesting. So you got things that are tribes, we mentioned, and it's really sticking hard to kill people.
Yeah.
Somehow the game still manages to be fun, but I'm not sure where I'm going with it. You can run into different kinds of balance issues, because we all are familiar with the shotgun, the sniper rifle, assault rifle kind of formula. We've got that pretty well pinned down, but as you start getting away from it, it gets harder. So
it gets convoluted.
Something like Tribe, where it's really hard to kill people, or something like Halo, where it's not a whole lot harder, it just takes more bullets.
Like someone said, Blacklight Retribution, which is a futuristic game. But if you guys have played it, and I played it, and I enjoyed it, it's really not futuristic. I mean, it's the guns play basically the same as regular guns. I don't even know what the back story is to it. It's such small environments. I mean, honestly, I haven't played it in months, so it's probably changed a lot. But I'm just saying, like, the template of the game, it's really like a Battlefield-y, Call of Duty. It's not. It's futuristic-y because the landscapes are kind of futuristic-y thing, and you got the one-man robots who can run around and stuff. Yeah. But at the core of the game, it's still guns shooting people. I mean, and it's mostly ammo. It's it's all the same stuff. It's just got a futuristic skin, basically. Yeah. Games like that are fine, but like I think like Tom's saying, like they get into the future, it just gets so they can go anywhere. Like I said, they can make it harder to kill people, easier to kill people. Stun. Gravity. There's just too many variables for me.
Yeah.
It has to be done really well, and then I would probably check it out. Like. I'm trying to think of one that's coming up that I would probably check out, but nothing's jumping out at me. And that's the next segment. But yeah, I don't think I have anything on that list.
I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat that are saying that they think that as far as like how easy it is to balance the game doesn't really matter on the era, and not just playing devil's advocate. I honestly disagree. Mainly because if you look at past generations, past eras and things like that. where there were certain guns that could. I know you said that there was everything was kind of balanced, but I mean, if you really think about it, it wasn't. Like if you go back to World War I, World War II, you're looking at, all right, so we got the M1 Grand, the M1A1, and then you got guys that have a Thompson. So we got a guy that has a semi-auto versus a submachine gun. Where's the balance there?
Oh, war is not balanced. Real life, I'm saying war is not balanced, right?
Yeah. So I mean, like, to me, it's harder to balance those older games because the weapons were already there, and if you're going to be authentic, you're going to want to include them. But in order for the sake of balance, you're going to have to kind of change it because, as you said, war is not balanced. And
yeah, we talked about that. The realism versus balance. Yeah. It's the same. That it goes into that.
Right.
It's really more about tools they have, and then it's what they do with it.
Usually, I'm one of those guys who's like stuck in my ways, and my mind can never be changed. But throughout this topic, my mind has changed like 7 times. Like I'm like, you're right. No, you're right. No, wait, you're right.
That's why you're
in the chat. You're right. You're right. Doesn't happen often, but I'm completely lost. Like my head's, I'm like, wait, I don't know what I have. I believed something when I came in. I don't believe it. I don't know what I believe anymore. I think Polygon's really adamant that it's not based on the era, and I agree with that. And we weren't saying I wasn't trying to make it that simple. Like a game developer can make a game set anywhere and make it horrible and completely unbalanced. I guess I was just past experiences with popular games that were set in each era. Maybe is what I was sort of going with.
Yeah.
But now I'm like I'm all confused. I don't.
I mean, I think as a dev, I'd much rather work on a futuristic game because, like I said, you have all the freedom, the creative as you want. I mean, you announce, let's say, tomorrow an announcement is, or Battlefield 4, whatever you want to say, is a present shooter. Well, the template's already there, and you have to pretty much follow it because the market is going to expect certain things. So, you kind of boxed in what you can do, and to be really creative, people are going to rage on you. So you almost have to be, and that's probably what they're doing with Black Ops. They're moving it ahead. Black Ops 2, I should say, just far enough that they can do kind of what they want. They can have a little creative freedom and get, as much as a Call of Duty can do, get out of the restraints they're in.
Yeah, but as much as anything, it feels like, we have the whole guns, what they do. You got bullet drop over range, you got rate of fire, ammo. The engines are set up for that, and that's what people expect, and that's not going to change.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not going to go all the way to Halo where you've got like charged plasma pistols or needlers going around, like crazy stuff. That's not going to happen in a Battlefield or Call of Duty game.
Very true.
Well, any closing comments? Because I have no opinion on the subject anymore. I'm going to think about it. And you guys on YouTube,
change your mind too much.
Maybe I'll be in the comments there with a.
Stick around for the after show. You might actually have a spine.
Yeah. Right now, I got nothing. I don't know clue. All right.
MsNERDerer left. You can have an opinion.
You guys know I usually do. And with her, she knows. I don't take crap, but I really
I'm only giving you a hard time. I'm the married guy that's trying to keep quiet so she doesn't yell at me. It's okay.
All right, let's switch it on to games we have our eyes on. And now we actually, what we did is we sort of picked 5 or less, if we could get 5, and threw them out.
I had less. I squeezed them out.
Yeah. So what I want to start with is a few we overlap on. And one, and that's just recently came out on my YouTube channel, a video on it, is Medal of Honor Warfighter. So for you guys in the chat, not only do we want you to chime in on these games, are you looking forward to them, yes or no? Heck, you can do scales for them, 1 out of 10. 1 means not looking forward to it, 10 you really are, something like that. You also have the option to throw out some games in there that maybe we don't mention, like you want to hear our opinions on it. So we'd like to do that.
If anybody says Black Ops 2, I'm just reading the comments. I almost put it in.
So, Medal of Honor Warfighter is the one we're going to start with because multiple of us are looking forward to that. Who's on that list? Oh, sorry, text message.
I'm hopeful for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that's a better fit for me than Black Ops 2, so that's why that's where my interest is.
They just released today. I don't know if it's supposed to be out, but a new gameplay video, and it shows like the customization.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
You can find the link mohhq.com. Type that in the chat.
That.
So.
Would that happen to be affiliated with?
Yeah. I am actually affiliated.
No, it's good. I'm trying to keep this game at arm's length because I don't want to set myself up for disappointment, but it's probably the front runner for me as a new game going into the fall.
Who else is looking at that?
I'm looking forward to it. There's a few things about it that kind of bother me a little bit. I was actually having a conversation with a culprit and someone else on Twitter about this earlier. And my thing with it is like there's some like really minor things that like
I agree.
As minor as it is, it bugs the hell out of me.
It ruins the immersion for me.
Yeah, like it ruins the immersion. Like right now, they have it set up to where obviously you get fire teams or whatever, where you got like a buddy. You use the buddy system. I don't know what that's all about yet, but whatever. Regardless, but like your buddy has like this glowy little aura around them,
silhouette,
which totally looks like something from like a Left 4 Dead game where you can like see the glowy little aura on the other side of a wall or something, and that really just bothers the hell out of me that's in there.
Me too. It's such a silly thing.
Did you guys not love Left 4 Dead? Because that's like an amazing game.
You know what? I like it, but I like it for the reason that it's kind of silly. Like when you're playing it,
it's arcadey.
It's arcadey. Whereas like Medal of Honor to me is really trying to give this feel of less arcadey, not entirely simulation, but a little bit closer to the simulation. And then you see that one thing sticking out like a sore thumb, and you're just like, no.
It's all about spec ops and special ops teams and the Apex Predators and all these, and then you have this guy. It's like, ooh, it's like doesn't. I don't know. Like it's such a minor. I kept my mouth shut. I'm doing a video tomorrow. It's going up on Medal of Honor, and I did mention this, but I felt embarrassed to mention it. And then Puppy mentioned it on Twitter. I'm like, yes, I'm not the only one because it really bothers me. It does because it's like, I don't know. You map all these maps and it's an arena shooter and all these things, and it looks really great. Who's the guy that said let's put a angel silhouette around your teammate? It doesn't fit for me. I don't know. It irks me, I guess. Hopefully there's a toggle switch.
It's not on your list. Why not?
It's the same thing I said with Battlefield 3. We tried the beta and squads were an issue, and again, I shouldn't buy it the first day because I want to know that stuff works because that's important to me.
Yeah.
Now who's going to get sucked in? I mean, I may by the Battlefield 4. Is that effective?
That won't affect me. It's early beta access. If it was like early game access, maybe. But like, are you kidding me? Like early beta?
Yeah, I'm still on the fence, and I've asked them like when the latest date I could pre-order, and it's the day before it releases. So that's when I'll make the decision. But I mean, $70, I get 3 or 4 days ahead on YouTube. I can make that back.
Yeah, see, I don't know if I'll play Battlefield 4. So.
I'm thinking that way. I'm not thinking necessarily a gamer. I'm just curious if you guys were debating it.
So, I had something I was going to say before, but...
So wait and see. So you guys let me know how it is, though.
It is a wait and see for me, too.
I don't actually know if the fire team is going to be limiting in chat or, it's a mobile spawn, but if you go off like what Medal of Honor was before, it wasn't you can spawn on your teammates. So by adding that, they might not be limiting you in other aspects. They might just be adding the fire team, like, here's one mobile spawn for you, but you can still play with a whole team just as you could in, like, a Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's what I know nothing about this game. I really don't. And I'm trying to keep it that way, like I said. I don't, but I will educate myself. I'm just hoping more videos come out and more reviews and things like that.
So just stay tuned to my channel. And I'll be...
Yeah, I will. Yeah, do it, man. Like I said, we talked, I think, was it Skype we talked about this? I did go ahead and do my impressions or my opinion video. Yeah. It's going to go up tomorrow. Burying it on Saturday. But it's just a new look at, like, talking about it. Before we even did this topic, it was just kind of, I'm looking at this game. I get asked this all the time. Like, are you going to get it? You're going to pre-order it? You're going to do it? And I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. So I just kind of talked about what I like, my concerns, that kind of thing.
I mean, I'll be honest, and someone mentioned a few people right when we brought it up, they're like, well, last one was horrible. Medal of Honor 2010 I own on PC. I love the campaign. It took me like 4 hours to beat, though, so that's not worth any money, you know?
Really?
Yeah, it was so short. And I'm OCD when I play games. Like, I go in every single corner to see if there's like something lying that I can pick up. It was so short.
Get lost in Skyrim.
Yeah, I played Oblivion. I never beat it, but
we would never see Scott for 2 months.
No, that was Fallout New Vegas. It was like 200 hours later. I come out like a beard this big. I haven't eaten 200 hours.
What's like Gandalf? He's like, oh, he's been playing Skyrim. Yeah. Nah, I'm keeping my eye on it, like I said, but it's definitely a wait and see, like Time says. If this was the first video or first game, I'd probably be a lot more excited, but. Like you said, the last one got panned so bad. It's just like, fool me once, which you did, and I didn't buy it. But
I'll be honest. I'm excited. DICE isn't working on it. I know, taboo, but
I talk about that too.
I mean, DICE has enough on their plate also, it's not really the reason, but DICE didn't do a good job last time. I don't, you know.
It was a beta. It was a beta for the beta.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I didn't like
really
it at
feel
all.
that way.
I'm ready for Danger Close to come in and hopefully, you know, make their name. I think this is their opportunity, you know.
I agree. They're
I'm
motivated.
hoping they're saying, we want to make, you know, we had a good campaign. People liked the 2010 campaign. Critics, I don't know if you guys personally, but critics liked the 2010 campaign. They just thought it was too short. I'm thinking they're saying, we're going to prove that we can make a multiplayer, and that's what I'm hoping for. So I'm not saying that I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I'm definitely keeping my eyes on it. So there's that
I agree
game.
with you and everything. I talk about everything you just said in my video.
Yeah.
Puppy, are you muted again, or are you just...
No.
Right.
I'm keeping my
You're
mouth
miming
shut.
or muted? Which is it?
There's some
Because
funny stuff in the comments going on right now. that's all.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
it's going too quick. I haven't kept up, but not many
I
nerds.
can't.
So.
I'm not a chat guy. You gotta add culprit in big letters if you want my attention.
So the next game on the list, GW2. I don't even know what that is.
Guild Wars 2.
I thought it was that. I thought that game was already
Come on
out. I'll be
now.
honest.
I just heard some weird things today about this, though. That people that are playing the beta are asking for the money back. I have no source on this. I know nothing about the game. People I subbed to were talking about this, and I was just kind of listening. So I don't know.
I've been in on the betas and a lot of the stress tests, and it's been going well.
Okay, there you go.
I have not been fortunate enough to have been in the betas. I've been relying very heavily on time.
Now, isn't that a PC game, guys?
It is.
That's weird.
I know, right?
Strange.
You know what, though? Actually, like I mentioned, I am starting school again. This is going to be my last semester, and I'm hoping to get a kind of last semester graduation gift of a gaming rig. So
There you go.
yeah, we're going to make this happen.
Since we only have a few games, I don't mean to but let's we can't go too long.
No, shut up, culprit.
We have a lot of games, and we have 3 topics instead of 2 today. But
Oh, we don't have to talk about all mine.
yeah, well, we'll just mention them. I'll say personally, Guild Wars 2. Or Guild Wars, not Guild Up. Sorry. I don't know. I've just never. I have enough games. Literally on Steam, I probably have like 30 games I've bought that I've never played once, and I have no time, and nothing's appealed me. Culprit, that's not on your list either. Why is?
No, there's a whole group of those that I'm kind of like Guild Wars, Dota, League of Legends. I'm intrigued by them.
Stuff that takes a while to get into.
Yeah,
Even
that's
if it
exactly
is
what
an
it
easy
is.
start,
Exactly.
you gotta. Now, if you're gonna start playing, you gotta put in some time into it.
Like that's why I'm intrigued now is that you guys are putting these on. So like if you guys are playing it, I would do it. You know what I mean? But it's not really ones I'm personally looking forward to. But I kind of am looking for a reason to try them out. Do you know what I mean? I've heard a lot of good things, and they seem like they'd be up my alley.
That's exactly how I am with games, though, too. Like, I'll have stuff like... I have, like, so many games that are, like, on my watch list, but if I had friends who said, oh, we're all playing, I'd be like, oh, what's been on my watch list? I don't know if I'd really love it, but you're on it, I like playing games with friends, it's the most fun part.
That's basically why I was like, that's a PC game, no? You guys here to come over to my neck of the woods?
Hey, I'm there. I'm chilling on both, so... Alright, next on our list, Black Ops 2, and I'll come right on saying I'm pretty stoked.
I saw you join the wagon on Twitter.
Not until today.
It was rather recent. I know.
Watched a little bit. I saw a few. I haven't watched much of it. I watched 20 minutes of its live stream today, and I was watching play Domination, and just improving Domination game mode, I was like, you guys rock. Like that's how Treyarch is amazing. I really like them.
I hate to say it. I almost want to buy it just to support them. If I would never
so
play
good.
it.
Yeah. Now the game.
No. Not that good.
Their intentions are good, and I'll take that right now.
Looking at what they've done, they're the ones who improved Call of Duty in my eyes. They're the ones who, what they did in Black Ops. I know some people didn't like the gameplay. I did, but the way it was handled. I didn't have any issues with Black Ops, other than people thinking that I think there was some lag, and I think that was a common problem for people, like slight lag, and the gameplay some people didn't like. But everything else, they patched it. I loved it. I like what they're doing. I like that they're improving game modes. They're changing game modes. My biggest thing in video games, too, first-person shooters, is instead of customization or a lot of maps, I like game modes because I get bored. I like switching it up.
Yeah, they had a ton.
And I love that. I do. So that one's on my list. But it's on someone else's list. I'm surprised it's not actually on your list.
I almost put it on
because I have not been a Treyarch fan ever. It's their map design, their spawns. It's not what I like. And one of the things that I told me is just like, I'm not really sure about this. So they said they're making the maps even smaller. So they're already they're small for 6v6. So they're probably going to play well for 4v4, which might work out okay. But again,
I love Team Tactics.
Looking at those maps and going, I don't like what I see.
I haven't watched enough to. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but
Don't pre-order.
I wasn't.
What do you get for pre-order?
I don't know. I wasn't hooked to the point where I wanted to.
It's on your radar
videos. Now I'm about to say I'm gonna start watching trailers. I'm gonna see what's going on there. So
I keep my I was amped for it a little, like I said, until I saw the first video and it was futuristic, and I'm like, eh. But let's say if Black Ops 2 was like present time, I would have been all about it. Yeah. But
I think I
still am, and I like Treyarch, but he's right. I mean, there was spawn trapping issues and things like that. But there's issues that the FAMAS was the beast for way too long. But I enjoyed Black Ops 2, and I nostalgically kind of got me back into gaming, so there's always going to be a little loyalty there. I just love that they do seem to listen to YouTubers, which I now am, and competitive guys, which a lot of people say that's a minority, but I really believe there's a trickle-down effect from competitive gaming and YouTubers. And if they're listening to those guys, I think overall it's going to be a better game. And they're clearly listening to them. So
I guess that's what I love about them. Gameplay, I'm not so technical where I get that worked up with map. I think they're trying, whether they get it right or wrong. They do things that other people don't do, and that they listen and they try to improve their game. And they
don't troll their player base like
DICE. FPS, I don't think that many other games
really
do that well. I don't think DICE did that well. I don't think Infinity Ward did that well. I don't think many others really do that, and I think Treyarch tries.
That's. I mean, I applaud that. Like, I mean, that whole streaming thing. I'll probably never use it, but that's incredible. Cool. I mean, that really is. I mean, they're saving the average 16-year-old, which I don't want to see a 16-year-old stream, but I'm saying, think how much money they just saved him. He hits a button, he streams.
Yeah.
He doesn't need any of this. I mean, which kind of I maybe should be nervous about, but the
more they flood the market, it's gonna be a tough scene.
Yeah, I just think that's cool. Like that they've obviously put a lot of effort into that, and it hasn't been done before, as far as I know. So I think that's cool.
It ended up on my list just because their biggest selling point with me is, like you said, they are listening to the community, and one of the biggest things that I like about the community, besides everyone watching, I love you all, but I've always been ever since I first got into video games and discovered that it was even existed, has been the competitive end of things, like the competitive gameplay, the MLG, the TGL, all of this stuff is just like all the leagues that are out there have always like really just gotten at me, because like there's those moments in there, these guys everyone's going in hard in the paint, and when they pull off those epic moments where like last minute game winning, something like that, you're just like, oh my god, that was amazing. Like it's like you're watching a sports game. And as soon as like I just the other day I watched a video where Fwiz was actually interviewing one of the guys that helped design the Black Ops 2 and everything that was behind it, and they basically that was all they talked about during this interview was how they are supporting the competitive end of things, helping with the shoutcast, like you said, Culprit, things like that, and like all that to me is just huge. Plus, up and coming YouTuber shoutcasting really interests me. So what better place to dip my toes in?
A couple of mason jars and we'll shoutcast some matches, man. Let's do it. What I like, is they hated competitive. I don't know how much you guys all play Black Ops. Vaughn, I mean, I followed it hard, and you guys know how I am. They hated competitive, and they ignored it, and they almost like mocked it in the beginning of Black Ops. But slowly, obviously Machinima has a lot of weight, and they wore him around, they turned him around, and towards the end, I mean, you remember the competitive playlist and all those things they started adding. So they obviously realized that it might be a minority that's playing competitive, but there's a lot of interest in competitive, like Puppy said. Like, I mean, I've never watched a competitive league match in Battlefield 3, and I'm way more into Battlefield 3 than I ever was anything else. But I watch COD XP, I watch all these things. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a game I'm into necessarily, but if it's a level playing field and they support it, like, I mean, it's one of my saddest things about Battlefield 3 is they never supported it.
Yeah.
It would have been great, but I'll watch YouTube videos maybe of somebody playing a scrim or something, but there's never been an official thing where I'm like, yo, I got to check that out, like an MLG event, like. It's just never been. It's sad, but and they did it with Black Ops, and now I think they're really, I mean, they're raising the bar, frankly, for competitive anyway.
And I like to see improvements in video games, and we won't dwell on this anymore. We'll move on to just naming the rest, but games that do new things, and you have to admit that not all of them are good, but Call of Duty, they only make small changes, but they do new things for console gaming, and I like seeing new things. I like to see improvement. I think they're working on it. Halo brought theater mode, and I think Call of Duty made it. Everyone wanted to do theater mode, though. It's sort of like Yeah, that's a Halo thing, and then when Call of Duty said they can do it, I think people are like, why is Battlefield 3 not doing it? Why are these games, it's like Call of Duty makes things popular, and they have a lot of control in the gaming industry, and they do new things that are good for gaming.
Yeah,
I'm stoked about it. I want other games to
for
pick it up, and
4.
people demand it, so I like that.
I mean, the big question is going to be theater mode and lag compensation
Yeah.
for that one. That's the real question.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about it, but we need to find that out. And we might find it launch day, I don't know, but that's going to be, for me, the question.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so we spent a lot of time on that. Let's just, real quick, if we have other games we want to mention, I'll just read off my other, Black Ops Medal of Honor Warfighter. I'm actually looking at SimCity. I've never really been a big SimCity fan, but it's
man.
I just never really played it. I'm looking forward to the new one, actually, though. It's reading some articles on it. Looks awesome. I think they're doing good. I think they've taken enough time that they're going to make something awesome. Also on my list, I've always wanted to try Far Cry 2 because it's got really good reviews. People say it's not worth playing it now. It's just way too old. It's too dead.
I considered it, yeah.
Far Cry 3 is coming out. It doesn't seem to be anything like Far Cry. Well, I shouldn't say that. It doesn't seem to be really based off Far Cry 2. So it's very different. I don't know enough
to add it to my list, but
it's on my watch list, and
it's on my radar. Yep.
And there's other games that come out like farther away. I'm trying to stick to the next this year, so I'm not really looking at 2013. And there's new Pokemon coming out, and just because I started to play Pokemon, and the Pokemon I'm playing is like 7 years old. I'm willing to. I haven't looked anything up of it yet, but I'm gonna go find a trailer.
Wait,
I'm gonna
go. Watching your Pokemon are 7 years old, or the
Pokemon I'm playing. Oh, okay. The game, it's a simulator, and it's like 7 years old. I don't know when it came out, but I just want to go and see what are the new Pokemon.
Do you have to blow in it before you put it in the thing?
Dude, it's all on the computer, man. This is modern technology. They improve now. It's old. But
that's gonna be your thing. Watch. A year from now, you're gonna
I will not be a sole Pokemon player.
The Pokemon guy. Competitive Pokemon.
I play Battlefield 3 streaming.
Is Pokemon.
I get like 30 viewers. I play Pokemon live stream. I get like 50 viewers, like right off the bat. So it's people out there. It's fun.
That's
it's
cool.
A nice, relaxing game.
That's you. That's all it is.
All right, those are my games. What do we got? We'll go. Time. You next.
I think we've covered the two. Yeah, I didn't really have much going on. We're going to see how Halo 4 looks. I kind of got worn out on the old ones, but we're going to see what Halo 4 looks like.
Right. Culprit, what else? What do you got on your list?
What did I have? Does this even count? I mean, one of my most is Aftermath. I mean, I'm definitely looking at that. I mean, I know it's kind of cheap. It's not really fitting, but I mean, if I had to pick one thing, that might be it. That's right up my alley. So again, I'm going close quarters, setting myself up for dice appointment. I had SimCity like you. The big one for me probably DayZ, Warzy. I just put them together.
They're making the full game, right? Or they want to?
Yeah, they're going to do a standalone Armor 3 engine. It's not really the Armor 3 engine, but it's an offshoot of it. The hacking is just rampant in DayZ right now. Yeah. It's pretty terrible. Arma 2 is coded in a way that it's a total trust issue between client server because it's supposed to be just like scrimmages. So you can really, you can script it, and hack it very easily. It's bad. So the next iteration is good. They're gonna go Minecraft model, I guess. Real cheap to enter, alpha, but don't look for anything new until next spring probably. They might launch it before Christmas, but that's gonna be basically the same game, just with no hackers. So, but I mean, I'm looking at it, and there's another game called Warzy, but I'm a little leery on. I'm gonna do a video on it, I guess, do a little more research. And I had SimCity, Medal of Honor, and then I had Football Manager 2013 for you Euro guys. No Clappy, I saw him in there and stuff. It's a soccer simulator game. I just needed something quirky. I'm a weirdo.
Have you heard of the game? It's like I forgot how to pronounce it. It's like Pokemon. Have you heard of that? It's this game.
No, I play the cards. I don't want to do the computer thing. Isn't that a card game? I don't know.
But at one point in time,
it's a soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, manager thing. But I'm a pretty big fan of that. So.
All right.
There's Clappy. There he is. All right.
Puppy.
About the only one that I had on there that wasn't mentioned was CSGO, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And again, I understand a lot of people are like, it's just CSS redone, and to some extent you're right. There's some few new features in there, things like that.
For $15.
Yeah, it's dirt cheap. And on PC, they're actually coming out with mods already, and they're it's been confirmed that they're going to have a lot of future mod support. So that'll keep the game's longevity on PC end of things, which is honestly really where the game belongs.
Call me a newbie. Are they going to have different play modes?
Yes. But that's usually that comes with the mods. That comes with the mods and things like that.
My thing, that's all right. That's fair enough. Okay.
Steam is getting really good with mod support, so we're gonna see some awesome stuff coming there.
Steamworks is crazy.
Yeah.
And like I said, just bringing it back. CS:GO it's always been about the competitive scene.
Now, are you looking at it for Xbox or PC? Because you're talking about mods. I'm just curious. I'm not rubbing salt.
If I get it, it'll be on Xbox.
Yeah.
If I get it.
If you get the PC, then you'll get it again.
Right. If I get the PC, then I probably would end up buying it again just because it's cheap.
$15. Yeah. I know. That's what I mean. It's like, it's not a first day purchase for me, but if I see you're playing it, yeah, okay. $15.
It's not something you got to really sit there and consider. Do I really want to drop it?
Right. It's not a $50, $60 game.
Okay. So. Let's do just a few minutes for a few games that people have mentioned. Borderlands 2 is up there. I'll give my thing is that we're sort of not trying to list all our games. Borderlands 2 is definitely on my list, but I haven't played Borderlands 1. That's probably a game I'd buy after the price goes down or a Steam sale. I think it'd be a lot of fun, but I don't have time for an RPG like that. There's other RPGs I want to play more, like Witcher 2, Skyrim, Mass Effect 3.
I heard so many good things about that game, though. Yeah. It's intrigued me.
So, there was that.
PlanetSide 2 in the chat, and it looks free to play. I'll probably try it out. We'll see what's going on.
Free to play one.
I don't envision myself spending a lot of time there.
Yeah. But what about nobody said Torchlight? Did anybody say Torchlight 2?
I saw some people mention Torchlight 2.
I thought about it, but I mean, until it comes out, it's vapor at this point. I mean, it's just been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And I don't know a lot about it, but that's what I know. I know what I know from KB Mod Podcast.
Assassin's Creed 3 for me. That's all. Oh, go on.
I'm done with Assassin's Creed.
I was going to say, I don't buy Assassin's Creed until the game has come down to $15, which usually takes about a year.
For me, if it's single player, it doesn't get purchased new. Like, sorry. For $60.
Multiplayer I've seen a little bit of it. It's different. It's interesting, but if you're not already into it, it seems hard to jump on it because the Assassin's Creed is, like you said, known for single player.
Yeah. And I actually just purchased Assassin's Creed Revelations, and I'm probably going to get, and I sort of purchased on order, I got a really good sale, but I'm probably going to buy Brotherhood, because I played 1 and 2. So once I play Brotherhood and Revelations, single player, I'll definitely be looking at Assassin's Creed 3, but single player will wait a little bit. What was anything else that came out? I think there was another game mentioned, but don't remember. So that's sort of what we're looking forward to. I think I speak for all of us and I say our eyes are open to a lot more games because there's a lot of stuff coming out, but I can't say that any of us are hooked yet. But
there's no big one like there was last year. It was Battlefield 3, Modern Warfare. I don't feel like there's a huge. Even Black Ops 2 doesn't have the buzz that I feel like Modern Warfare 3 had.
Yeah, I agree.
It's more still got a couple months to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, but I think it lacks the there was Battlefield 3 and it was Modern Warfare 3, and they both built off each other. I think which might be better this year, is you're looking around a lot more. You're kind of spread out, which could be good in the long run.
I've definitely started opening my eyes, especially now that I've moved. I consider myself a PC gamer now. I'm also a console, my primary system I'd call Xbox. I think games like Medal of Honor, they're optimized on either. I think they're actually made more for console, and Call of Duty made more for console. So. But
it's all about
the mods. I just can't. You can't argue with mods being the best thing there is in gaming. Like,
no, that's what it is. That's the whole difference. So. It's Steam and mods. That's the only thing that's, to me, in my opinion, sorry guys, sets PC gaming apart.
I'm 100% behind you. Steam changes the whole. Without Steam, PC gaming would not be so appealing because the prices you get is just insane.
No, and now what's it? Well, maybe this is not for. What's the Uplay thing you tweeted out?
Well, we'll save it. Well, maybe we
can
do it.
We'll talk about it after show. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. Defibs Only. So, Puppy, what happened? What is Defibs Only?
I'm out of here.
Oh man! All right. So, for those that don't know, I went from Colonel 99. As soon as I hit Colonel 99, I did not kill any more people with my bullets. I went ahead and as soon as I hit that, I quit out of the game. And joined up in new games, and I went from Colonel 99 to Colonel 100 using absolutely nothing but the defibrillators. I could kill with them, I could revive with them. I allowed myself to plant objectives,
You rage quit with them.
Yeah, I'd rage quit with them a few times.
Imagine.
I would be ridiculous.
It was, you know what? Actually, though, I was really surprised. Like, I was really nervous when I was first getting into it. I was like, "Oh my God!"
You bit off one of your chips.
Yeah, I was seriously.
I thought when you said it,
that was 2
you
weeks
were
ago.
insane.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, you're like, guys, I don't know.
I wouldn't even play with one gun for that long.
I didn't want to. I wouldn't group with you. Yeah, me neither. Right, exactly. I wouldn't play the same class that long. I'm a medic. I wouldn't do it.
Like, you know, like at first, like I said, I was like super like, oh my God, am I really gonna do this? And then I was like, you know what? I said I'm gonna do it. Man on my word, let's go ahead and do it. And I started popping on with some friends and things like that. And you know, even on the few occasions I was against them, you know, I was just like, just don't troll me too hard. You know, but like we'd all get in the chat together, even if they were on the other team, if they were on my team, you know, whatever. And it was all like I'd say 80% of the matches that I played, and I have a folder that's just dedicated to the defib matches, which I think consists of about 60 gameplays.
Oh God. You gotta like highlights, or you know, just start upload one and then put like 3 private so you don't flood them or something like that. And
I'm not entirely sure how I want to do that. You know, like you guys kind of tossed the idea to me last time of doing like a montage, and I'm thinking, all right, if I just do like the defib kills themselves, I could probably turn that into a montage. Of course, I did the math on it because I was tracking this hardcore, and there is 184 defib kills.
Nice.
So that's a lot of kills for a montage.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I'm not entirely sure how I want to work that out just yet. You know, anybody with any suggestions, feel free to mention. You know, but there were some times in there where like I had a lot of laughs. You know, it was a lot of good fun. You know, because I'm running around just being a complete dork. You know, I got my defibs out, and you just imagine on the other team, you know, shooting at people, and here comes this crazy bastard. Just
it's such an amazing feat. It really, I commend you. If I had a hat on, I would tip it to you, sir, because that's impressive. I don't think it's just insane, you know.
And for the record, there were 2 kills during my entire road that were not defibs. I'm sorry.
What'd you do?
About
grenade?
That. There was one time where I threw a grenade at a C4 that was on top of an objective. I was like, I got to clear this off. You know, I'm not going to go plant and then die. So I threw a grenade at it, and then a bad guy came cruising through the door and totally just parked next to the C4 and then stared at me.
What is this thing on the ground? Uh-oh.
Yeah, like, hey, dude, how's it going, man? And I was, you know, just like, I don't know what to do for you, man. And then he blows up and he dies. And I was like, what do you want me to do? And then the second one happened where I was on No Shark Canals, I think it was, and we were having a rough time trying to push in and get the objective. And one of the other things I was allowing myself to do was to drive vehicles, just so that I didn't have to like sprint across these huge, vast, you know, open areas with just my defibs out. So I went ahead and popped in an Amtrak. You know how fast that Amtrak moves. And I drive it up to the objective, and like I'm not even paying attention, but I run over a guy.
Nice.
And I'm just imagining like the scene from Austin Powers, you know, the steamrollers approaching him. Just
Who got run over by an Amtrak? That's terrible.
Oh God.
So,
wow, it was probably a 008 guy, wasn't it?
You know, I don't know who it was. I haven't gone back and looked, but it did happen.
Yeah, the grenade. No, I unsub.
Yeah. Oh, you're done.
I'm done.
But mission failed, and you can never do it again.
You gotta do it again, I think.
Yeah, and there was, you know, I learned a lot about myself doing that too, because not only was I like laughing sometimes, but like I said, there were some moments of pure rage. There was a few individuals, not just one, so if you think that you're that individual, you may be included with some others. There was a few individuals who purposely got on the other team and purposely put themselves into positions to where they knew I couldn't defib them. Like, I'd have people chasing me around with a knife. With defibs, you can't kill them if they're moving.
Yeah.
So they're chasing me around with a knife. I can't do anything but run away. And that's really dumb. And then you have people that would, like, get on top of things and, you know, just shoot at me with their gun while they're up there. And I'm like, I can't climb up to you. I don't know what to do. So there was some people, you know, where I learned a lot about myself and my anger control, which sometimes it got a little out of hand.
Oh, dude.
All right. Well.
Hey, I guess I tip my hat. That's legit.
Yeah. But yeah, I did it 3 days, and it's done. If you guys, like I said, want to leave suggestions of how you want to see it, let me know. But that's honestly all I really got to say on it right now.
I would do a montage of just the names you know, maybe something like that. You know, the guys you know. That's
something. Yeah, don't if you do all of them, it's gonna take too long to edit.
No.
Anyway, though, I don't
want
want to take. We can talk about this again. What I want to do is sort of wrap up here. What we're gonna do this time is save questions for a little bit of an after show. I don't know how long it'll be this time for you guys in the chat. Stick around. For you guys watching on YouTube, if you ever want to watch the after shows, those are saved on the Twitch channel, which again is linked in the description below. Or come to the live stream, hang out with us then. For some of you guys in EU, which is too late, don't worry. Every once in a while, we sort of try to make it a little earlier. We did 2 weeks ago. We made it a little earlier. And I think we're going to try to throw that in every once in a while just to keep mixing it up. But I thank you all for watching on YouTube. For those in the stream right now, don't worry. We're going to go offline just to end this, and we're going to start the after show right after. So any closing comments from anyone, guys?
No, thanks for coming out, guys.
Thanks for showing up, guys.
And remember, if you want to see some of those defibs, you can click on Puppy's face on the screen here, go to his channel, let him know how to do it, or maybe they're up by now. So
make sure you weren't the guy that got run over by the Amtrak. That's all I gotta say. That's it.
Yeah, you ask him to take that video down.
If you are, you're out of my platoon. That's all I'm saying.
All right, guys. So we'll see you again next week.